We all love a good find out season story and what a difference a year makes. So, this person named Classic Bad posted in the Am I the A hole last year saying, Am I the a hole for refusing to stay up at night because I drive for a living? So that's 1 year ago. Fast forward to the present. Fast forward to the present, same dude, classic bad. So he says, My wife wants a divorce. What can I do? This is so amazing. You have got to love these find out season stories just coming full circle. So let's go look what happened 1 year ago. At this point in time last year, he was 34, she was 30. He says, I drive for a living. I work a normal 40 hours a week with the occasional overtime. My wife and I have a 3 month old. They have a 3 month old baby. She recently has started going back to work after maternity leave. She works in an office and just sits all day. She asked me if I could start helping during the night with the baby. That way, she isn't the only one not getting sleep. So she asked, Can I get some sleep every now and then? And he's like, Absolutely not. I can't be expected to do any of that part. He says, That is very unfair. I drive all day. I can't be expected to stay up at night, then drive exhausted all day. She thinks I'm being an a hole and inconsiderate and has pretty much quit showing me any affection and only talks to me when she asks to shower or if I can watch the baby while she makes dinner. Am I being unreasonable by refusing to help? I do so much during the day for the baby. I think it's fair I don't help at night then. Thank you in advance, or I think that's what the TIA is. Thanks in advance. I don't even need to editorialize this. Obviously, this dude is an a-hole and his wife thinks so too. So let's look at some of the comments because he was in and through the comments. Kia says, You're the a hole. Why does she have to ask you to watch the baby so she can shower or make dinner? It's reasonable that you need to sleep for safety reasons, but then when you come home, you need to be giving her a break. Just because she sits at a desk doesn't mean her work isn't hard or tiring. When you get home, take a few hours where you watch the baby and she gets some time off because you weren't doing your fair share overnight. This person who has deleted their account says, as soon as I saw the title and how he left out the critical I have a newborn piece, I knew the OP was the a-hole. Poppin' Bubble says, haha, my brain filled it in too. Once I read your comment, I scrolled back up and realized the OP hadn't said it in the title. Natural War says, but he sits all day too. This person at the top says, to be fair to him, if she falls asleep at work, she'll probably get fired. If he falls asleep while driving, people die. So I can see where he does need to sleep. But I don't think getting up once a night will ruin his sleep so much that he's going to be drifting off during the day. And I also don't think that watching the baby while she makes dinner is doing your fair share. She's not getting an actual break. She's just doing another chore. Brilliancy says, "Yeah, I was at least partly on his side until he got to the asking his permission to shower." See You Every Day says, "Yeah, and the holding the baby while she cooks dinner. I can absolutely get behind a schedule that gives more nights to the person not driving the next day, but the person skipping the nights picks up the slack elsewhere. OP is an a-hole for making his wife do the bulk of the childcare and housework while they both work full time." So we already saw Kia's question earlier where she says, You're the a-hole. Why does she have to ask you to watch the baby so she can shower or make dinner? And he says, Because I'm exhausted from working all day. So I'll watch the baby while she makes dinner. Then I go to bed. I do my fair share around the house to help out. And then Horror Disc says, Dude, you're the a-hole. You sound like you're watching the baby for max an hour a day. No wonder she isn't interacting with you. She's probably realizing it would be easier to be a single mom than be with you. So I Am the Pajama says, You must get a day off. What are you doing during the day you think you can opt out at night? You're both working. You need to figure out a schedule that helps both of you, not just you. Classic Bad, the OP says, Days off consist of yard work or visiting grandparents, making sure the house is picked up, etc. I've tried helping at night, but I'm just too tired and I end up waking her up to take over. So even if she was asleep, he wakes her up. I am the pajama says, you said you did enough during the day to justify not doing your share at night. You're not doing enough. You sound completely selfish. You need to be doing the nights when you have the day off the next day as a bare minimum. No wonder your wife is pissed off with you. Stop waking her up. Background Leopard says, you're the a hole if you're tired. How do you think she feels having to be up every night? You're minimizing her working a full time job because she sits. You sit all day too, but put more importance because you drive. You're a parent and need to figure out how to function with less sleep during this period of your baby's life, or figure out how to pay for additional help for your wife. And he says, definitely can't afford additional help. She only has to do it for another year. She'll be fine, and I'll try to help occasionally, but definitely not at night. Driving is more serious than office work. I could hurt someone. She could just fall asleep at her desk. Oh no. So, all she has to do this is for another year. And so that is my clue to go to the next post a year later. Actually, before you see that one, I needed y'all to see this. She works two 12-hour shifts and two 8-hour days, so no nap time on her days off. She's helping clean and watch the baby and watches him on Sundays while I'm working. I help with laundry and cleaning stuff around the house. I'll change a diaper every once in a while too, and help with feedings. Yeah, y'all needed to see this too. 1 year later, my wife wants a divorce. What can I do? So, wife is now 31, he's now 35. He says, my wife and I have been married for about 5 years. She wants a divorce, even though I've tried to do everything for her. I quit smoking, I do all the yard work, I clean, but nothing seems to be enough. She says she just can't let go of all the things in the past. For example, she found some random nudes on my phone that I forgot about from before her. She doesn't get along with my mother. She says I don't listen when she talks, but I do. I just learned what her favorite candy is and have surprised her with it multiple times now. She says things from before we were even married that she's holding a grudge about and can't let it go. I told her she needs to go to therapy, something that she's thrown at me before and then gets upset when I say it back. I just don't know what I can do to get her to stay with me. Any advice? So he really thinks that he doesn't know, y'all. He doesn't know that people can see his post history. So this is hilarious right there. Flomo Joe Blow did not go back through his post history, saying give her a choice, therapy or divorce. Classic Bad says, I don't want a divorce though. I want to be with her forever. She wants a divorce, and I prefer not to do couples therapy. Illusion says, why are you adverse to couples therapy? Any reason in particular? Her resentments are her issue to work past if you're both communicating, and she isn't going to try to work past her resentments without some sort of therapy, personal or couples. And so this just goes to show how these dudes are unreliable narrators. He left out so much, and so these people are going off simply what he said when we already saw that this is way bigger than this. He says, I've tried therapy and just didn't care for it. She was in therapy for a couple of years. I told her maybe she needs to go back. Okay, so unimpressed. 46 says, considering you posted about not wanting to help your wife out with your own baby at night and she has to ask you to watch the baby just to shower or cook you dinner. Yeah, I don't think the main issue is that she holds grudges. The OP straight up lied right here. I don't know what you I'm sorry. I don't know what you think you're talking about. I help my wife with everything. This is my first post. I'm more of a lurker on Reddit. And he says, your post history is visible. And then yesterday, Classic Bass says, okay, I didn't realize you could see past posts. Just so you all know, I knew what her favorite candy was. I changed details so it wasn't obvious. I didn't know what her favorite effing flower was. Big deal. She always says she prefers dead ones because why cut beautiful flowers when you could just have a whole plant? So I didn't know she specifically had a favorite when she said she didn't want flowers. So he sees that we could see his post, but that is what he's talking about is some candy, not the fact that she is divorcing him because she has been a married single mother. Bastard Henry says, how the hell did you not see this coming? You're literally a worthless partner. You do nothing to help and you do nothing to raise your child. You put your big boy pants and you act like an adult, help around the house, and actually spend time caring for your child. Teeth Which Bite says it's far too late for that. OP is only upset because he's losing his maid. It's very clear she will be much better off without him. The Bastard Henry says no arguments there. Surprising Normal says, such good news. Go wifey and baby. Gosh, they'll be so much better without you. So absolutely over the moon for them and their future possibilities. Oh yeah, remember to pay child support. Terrible Problem says, you're right. The big deal is you refuse to parent and put all the child rearing duties on her immediately after she risked her life giving birth. And I'm sure you haven't improved that since. Let her go find someone better. This next person says, if you still haven't figured it out, it's not about the candy nor flowers. Crystal Red Cynthia says, oh well, maybe you can live with your mommy and let her be a maid to you while you do her yard work. And then at the bottom says, I'm so happy she's leaving your sorry butt. Because that's the thing. These people do not understand that, yes, you make a baby with a person. You actually have to parent that child, and it's going to suck. Losing sleep sucks. Being tired sucks. But when you're the mom, you are losing sleep. You're healing. Your hormones are getting rebalanced. You're feeding the child. And in this case, this woman is working outside the home too. He deserves this divorce. So many people deserve, so many of these dudes deserve to be lonelier. I do want y'all to chime in and let me know what you think. Like, comment, and share.